Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. Biographical information. Full name, Ra's al Ghul. Occupation, international terrorist. Leader of League of Assassins. Assassin. Base of operations, Mobile. Lazarus Chamber. Affiliations, Talia al Ghul. Daughter. Nissa Rotko. Daughter. Hugo Strange. Formerly, Shiva. Physical description, hair, gray with white streaks. Gray. Arkham Knight. Eyes, green. Height, 6 feet in, 1.82 meters. Weight, 210 pounds. Game information. Voice actor, D. Bradley Baker. First appearance, Batman number 232, June 1971. Ra's al Ghul was a radical international eco-terrorist who had been around for hundreds of years. Ra's believed that the evils of humanity were a blight on our planet, and sought to extinguish them through whatever means that he deemed necessary. Through an international cabal named the League of Assassins, Ra's manipulated world events to achieve his own ends. That frequently put Ra's into conflict with Batman, one of the very few adversaries that he deemed worthy enough of himself, and who he encouraged to marry his daughter, Talia al Ghul. Although most of Ra's power came from his immense influence, he was also a formidable combatant, having the benefit of many lifetimes' worth of experience and accumulated skill. Ra's achieved his immortality through the ancient Lazarus pits. His name literally translates to demon's head, or head of the demon. The unnamed child who became Ra's al Ghul was born over 600 years ago to a tribe of nomads in a desert somewhere in Arabia, near a city whose inhabitants' ancestors had journeyed to the Arabian Peninsula from China. Ra's was interested in science from an early age. Unable to learn any science living as a nomad, Ra's abandoned his tribe to live in the city, where he could conduct his scientific research. Ra's became a physician and married a woman named Sora, who was the love of his life. 1. Ra's discovered the secret of the Lazarus pit, and he saved a dying prince by lowering him into it. The prince, who was sadistic to begin with, was driven completely insane by the Lazarus pit. The prince proceeded to strangle Sora, whom he had his eye on for some time. The ruler of the city, unwilling to admit to himself his son's culpability, declared Ra's guilty of the crime and sentenced him to a slow and tortured death in a cage with Sora's body. Ra's was set free from his prison by the son of an elderly blind woman, despite failing to save her. The son felt that he owed Ra's a debt for easing his mother's suffering during her last few hours. Ra's and the son headed into the desert to seek the tribe that he was born into. Ra's convinced the head of his tribe, his uncle, to follow him in his quest for revenge by promising the downfall of the king of the city. By understanding the germ theory of disease hundreds of years before anyone else, Ra's was able to infect the prince with a deadly virus by sending him contaminated fabrics. When the ruler of the city came to ask Ra's to cure the prince again, Ra's killed both him and his son. Ra's then led his tribe to raze the city to the ground and killed all of its inhabitants. Subsequently, Ra's declared himself the demon's head. Ra's spent the next several centuries journeying the world. During that time, Ra's, his uncle, and the boy had all used the Lazarus pits to prolong their lives until an incident in London. Ra's caught the boy writing his own memoirs in their original language, of which he had forbidden all records. During a battle, Ra's killed the boy and fled to a Lazarus pit, which he used. When Ra's returned to their home in London, his uncle had vanished with the remnants of their historical records. Over time, Ra's became a master of many forms of combat, notably fencing. He also built up vast wealth and created the Demon, a vast international organization. It has been whispered in the darkest places for 500 years that a cartel of criminals has slowly sucked its way into the rich veins of the earth. Many are its names spit from the mouths of men, but most often it is cursed only as the Demon. It has a leader, a head. 2. The League of Assassins, one of the many smaller organizations that made up the Demon, was thus sometimes called the Demon's Fang, or Demon Fang. Road to Arkham incident. Ra's body was moved to Arkham Asylum before the Joker's takeover of Arkham Island after unknown circumstances between himself and Batman. Arkham Asylum incident. In the Arkham mansion by Dr. Young's office, Batman found Ra's body in a body bag inside a morgue-type wall, and when he came back to the room where the body was, it mysteriously disappeared.